Okay, folks, here we are ready for another refresh. But in actuality, I already took the refresh a little bit earlier, several hours ago, actually. And you can see, before we get into this, let's take a look at where we stand now. So I'm sitting at rank 11, and I believe when we left off the last video, it was somewhere the 20 something. So just by virtue of home wins, um, I've raised quite a bit. So we've got a few new losses on the board. Post revenged me. He posted on Facebook that he faced the same pitcher, so it was the same matchup, Arrieta versus I think it was Pomeranz, and he scored a solo home run to win that one 1-0. So kind of reinforcing what I was saying, that it's at this point it's largely about luck when you have similarly skilled pitchers and similarly strength teams. So looking further up, we see Kodiak. There's no revenge available, so that was he revenged me with a so I suffered a loss there. We have Beer Club there, the Chinese character one that hit me, and I will revenge that and hope for a win. Go Nats Go. He's a manual player. That score doesn't look like a manual score though, so I don't know about that. And then a whole bunch of wins. So and away, well, we know what that was. So looking at where we stand now, we're looking at a 40-5 home record, 84% win ratio, and no away losses. Now, that's just because that's partially because of luck and because I've been with the lower refreshes. I'm going to start to suffer significantly more losses now, and Blue Jays probably could pull that off. So let's see if she hands me my first loss. Okay, so looking at that OVR boost up whenever I get somebody on base, looks like she's got cleaning up your mess on that pitcher. Those 2 points are probably going to be enough to carry. This is looking like a loss already. Oh, there's, the moment I see Robbie Ross Jr. come in, I get scared because he always. Okay, as we pointed out earlier, when I do pull out wins at this level, quite often they are due to a reliever meltdown. So I got lucky there. First of all, I got lucky that Robbie Ross Jr. didn't blow it for me, and second, to pull off some hits against Osuna there for a late inning win. Okay, so I had a question. Let's go ahead and jump in and answer that one right now. Somebody asked me to show my club that I'm in. I am in Mr. Bubbles' club. We called it Refresh Sinners, making a joke at there's some negative feelings about people who buy refreshes, so that's what we named our club. We got Mr. Bubbles, Fat Ninja, Devastators, Crushers, Annihilate, who is currently inactive 22 days ago, Henry, Trader 67, Boombats, Mithril, the other YouTube channel Mithril, Berserkers, Aubrey 85, Bestovian, Chai Sox 25, and Tony NY. New York Yankees. Okay, so I have to endure a bunch of Yankees fans in my club. How is it? Four different Yankees teams. God forbid. Um, okay, let's move on. Get some more games in here. And in the background, I'm watching the World Cup game of Australia versus Peru. Hope rooting for Australia because I have relatives over there, but at 2-0, not looking very good for them. Okay, Brandel. Oh, tied it up. Come on. Oh no, reliever meltdown. Oh, I hate my relievers. Everybody does. So I know a lot of people hate the relievers. I do too. It's not an uncommon problem. I look at if we looked at Team Boston's bench or relief corps last episode, that made me very depressed because his relievers all have great skills and mine all have crap skills. Mostly have crap skills. All right, this is looking unfavorable to. Oh, so that was my first loss. That was Randall who handed me my first away loss, and this is looking like it's going to be another one. Come on, late inning. Joe Kelly is my other person I'm worried about. Remember, he's the guy with Giant Killer, so we get to see how he does. Another 1-0 loss. Okay, so I can stomach two losses. Oh, jeez. I'm 1-2. Two losses on a refresh, so this isn't looking very good. Oh, I'm going to cycle back on, after this match, the whole contact eye thing. Because I had another, I remembered something else for as far as I skill those guys, wow, near goal by Peru. But anyways, how I level up my players and what I'm looking for. Okay, so I told you that excuse me, that I like eye and contact a lot on my hitters. But that being the case, I do follow my rule of the diminishing returns thing, in which case, when I get a player up to around 110 in power and eye, then I try not to. I mean, you can't avoid it sometimes. It just stacks on there. But then I am more accepting of the points going elsewhere. So in the case of the signature players, they are what they are because they get double and they just get really high. But in the case of my other players, let's go look at somebody lower. Let's take a look at Benintendi. Oops. And so I would have liked a little bit higher. He got some more into power. Those are fairly evenly spread across the three hitting stats, so I was okay with that. And his fielding and speed were ultimately a little bit lower. He got 11 to speed, which is all right as well. I don't mind a speedy team. So, yeah, point being, I don't try and overdo it in any of this particular stats because I don't believe that you get benefit past around 110. Okay, going on. Normally, this guy, Donats Go, when I see games from him, he tends to beat, and it's not just me, he beats anybody he plays when he manuals. He generally goes up by 10 runs. So that's another reason I don't like facing him is because it destroys my stats. And how am I supposed to tell how my players are doing when my stats get destroyed by manual players? Anyways, going on. So that was a win. All right, here we go. Team Boston. Very possibly a loss here. Yep, I'm behind and not hitting. Come on. Uh-oh, Kelly. My relievers are in play. I'm going to lose. Come on, at least tie it. Okay. Better than a loss. Patchy's got a nice Dodgers team, all Dodgers team. I feel like it's more authentic to play a team that actually has all the proper players on it. I know it's nice to kind of build your all-star teams, but I feel like I'm being more honest to my team by playing the proper players. Oh, near opportunity by Australia, overwhelmed by defense. So generally my closer, Ziegler, he does his job well as a closer. I will see anywhere from 2 to 8 blown saves during the season. And on a whole, he's generally around 1.0 ERA. So let's see if I get. Have you ever noticed you tend to get the same pitcher matchups against the same players over and over? See, like I said, There's Arrieta again. So he's got Last Boss and Untouchable. That's what we're facing versus Pomeranz is Cleaning Up Your Mess and Pitching Machine. And we are split 1-1 with this matchup. And it's looking like another nail biter. Oh, there we go. That's the win. And it was off Pomeranz. Let's see if it was a home run. Nope. It was Mookie Betts. A Red Sox player putting me away. How ironic is that? 2 more games to go. So not the best refresh for me. Not horrible. I mean, it's not out of the ordinary. I get these. 2 to 4 losses is the typical. I prefer to see 1 to 2 losses. It's almost never that I ever get complete wins or no losses on a refresh when I'm in the top 20. Okay, here we go. This guy, I never know. It's just like facing Post or Team Boston or Henry. I win some of these, I lose some of these. And I don't trust Porcello either. Let's see. Porcello for me is Cleaning Up Your Mess and Last Boss. And however, he started at straight 1, so his Cleaning Up Your Mess is only. Look at that, late inning runs. His Cleaning Up Your Mess is only at 5, so he's 6-5. So, and he gave up some runs, but I managed to pull it out there. So the other thing that if you didn't catch in comments, Mithril or Hero from the other YouTube channel is proposing that the reason that Kimbrel, who suffered my first loss, was showing as a 0 ERA even though he had a loss, was that it was a solo home run and Kimbrel pitched 0 innings, meaning got no outs. Well, that can't be the case. Nope, that can't be true. Because it was 1 run, and there was a base on ball, so he surrendered. It would have been a 2-run homer, so that can't be right. But anyways, he was saying 0 ERA because you can't display an infinite ERA with 0 innings pitched. So I don't know. I still don't know. Okay, so what do we got here? 3 losses, a tie, and the rest wins. So 6, 3, and 1. And that increased my rank, but I'm going to get some revenges off that, so I don't know that that rank will hold. We have some revenges to do. Let's take care of those. How do I handle revenges? It depends. If I'm tanking, I hold them to the last possible minute. During the season, I pretty much handle them as convenient. And at the end of the season, it depends. If I'm trying to push for rank, I'll hold them to the last second. But in general, I don't. I'm just really not that invested in getting the absolute highest rank these days. As long as I make it and get my Team Select Diamond, I'm happy, so I don't really, really push it. So I tend to hit the revenges as I get them. Come on, hold out. Come on, Zeeler. Yes. His job. All right, and as far as revenge games go, if there's anything that frustrates me in this game, it's losing a revenge match. I already lost the home game, and you go and you surrender more points by losing the away match. That just annoys me to no end. Yeah. As I open my... Okay. There's the comeback. Come on. I always get worried when they score first, especially when you face the number of 1-0 games that I do. Okay, so I think that's the last of my revenges. Yep, that's it. We have, within the time that we did this, we have 2 more home wins, so those counteracted some of my losses. Probably not as much because of the. Okay, so last thing, I'm going to handle it while it's on my mind instead of saving it for another episode. But another comment was made about which order you play your opponents in your refresh list. Do you go the strongest to the weakest, or play the weak ones first, or whatever? And it was suggested that the best way to go about it is to play the stronger players first. And that can work. It really boils down to what the difference in your current rank is, because that's going to dictate how many points you get off the win. So if you're playing low players and you manage to get enough points to push you within the next range, like I think it's 200 difference range, you're going to get 20 points. And then the next increment is down to 15 points for a win. I don't know what the difference is there. You know what? I'll get this data and I'll tell you guys later. But nonetheless, if you push yourself too close to the other guy, then you don't get the 20-point win. You get a 15-point win instead. So if you are really close to your other players, it's probably not going to make that much difference. If you have some people that could give you 20-point wins, but if you get too close to them, you're not going to get that. You probably want to play them first. So, but just realize it's a trade-off that your other games are probably going to be lower point wins. So I actually think it all balances out in the end. But so I just go top down. So anyways, all right, that's enough for today, or for this refresh. There's plenty to talk about in the next episodes. Thanks for watching. Send me any more questions. I'll try and answer them, and we'll catch you later.